welcome. It is such an amazing moment to be right here before you with us opening up a kickoff for NAVR Lions. 2 years in the making, and we're here today. What a wonderful feeling. Thank you for spending your time with us and being here. We hope you learned something from our past district governors, our district governor, our first vice district governor. I think you'll be amazed. At this time, I know Lionina was going to MC our event this evening, but she is working on setting up our table. So with that said, I'm going to ask Lion Olga to please come up to do the invocation.
Please bow your heads as we pray for God's blessings. Dear Heavenly God, we ask for your blessings and guidance for our NAVR Lions organization. We ask you, dear God, that you provide us the love and care which we will need in order to give assistance to our beloved brothers and sisters. We ask you, dear God, that you give us all the love and guidance so that we may faithfully serve our military brothers through this organization. And we ask you, dear God, to please keep all the NAVR members in good health and spirit so that we may be successful in doing your will. We ask this in God's name. Amen.
Amen.
And now if I can ask Lion Chrissy to please come forward as we lead everyone in the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our land was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Chrissy, she just became a Lion probably about a week or two ago. She's already being active doing this for us. Thank you, Lion Chrissy. And I'm going to ask our first Vice District Governor, Leolanda, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas flag.
Everybody standing, heart, hands over your heart, please. U.S. flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. Before they come up here, if you have a phone, please silence it. Please turn it on mute, as we want to be able to hear from what they have to say, okay? It's really interesting. I think you'll enjoy their words. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I have a difficult time with lights, so if you can't hear me, I move away, raise your hand, and I'll adjust. It is my duty today to introduce the District Governor, Lisa. That would normally be done by our first Vice District Governor, Paul. It's actually DGE, because he was just elected at our last convention. Paul's wife came down with COVID, tested COVID Sunday, and so they are isolating themselves. They test negative, and so they're not here. But Paul certainly wishes the new club members the best wishes in going forward with your club. So it's my honor to introduce District Governor Lisa. First of all, how many know what a district is? Raise your hand. Okay. There's a few new members. All right. Congratulations. Okay, let me go through that just quickly. Within Texas, there are 22,000 Lions. And Texas is a multi-district, and they've divided Texas into 16 areas. Those 16 areas are districts. And District Governor Lisa is the governor of our district, 2S2, which covers 7 counties, including Harris and Montgomery, the 2 largest ones. Within our district, there are 54 clubs, and now we've exceeded 1,500 members. So the new members you added here. District Governor Lisa is a member of the Magnolia Lions Club. She's been a member since 1996 for over 25 years. She served at many of the club's key officers' positions and was club president. At the district level, she served as in many different capacities, but one of the key capacities was the Texas Lions Camp director for 2 years. And she's received the 100% Achievement Award for that, which is quite an accomplishment for that directorship. How many of you know about Texas Lions Camp? How many don't know? All right, now I assume you all have to-do lists, huh? Please add that to your to-do list to discover Texas Lions Camp. It is fantastic, and it's a good part of what we are as Lions. District Governor Lisa has raised the bar in our district. Our district's come out of COVID impacts, and she's just done a fantastic job of bringing us back together and increasing our membership and service projects. We have served over 400,000 people, 400,000 people in our districts to date, so that's a huge amount. Lions are a family, but she has another family. Her husband, Hollywood, who happens to be in Arizona right now, not working. They have 7 children, and they have 18 grandchildren. Wow. Now hold on to your seats, because she also has 3 great-grandchildren. Wow. Well, that's my point. She can claim she's 39 and no one's going to challenge her. That doesn't work for me. I got challenged. Okay. Her other passion is to see your club do well and in the future be able to serve veterans as others. So please join me in welcoming District Governor Lisa.
Have a seat. What a beautiful Saturday, right? As Lion Lucy said, this has been a long time in the making, and I'm thrilled to be standing with you today. Second Vice District Governor Neal, okay, I'm going to introduce you to something about Lions right off the bat. We use alphabet soup all the time. PDG, IPDG, DGE, PDG, all kinds of initials. Don't let us do that. When we say DGE, what does that mean? District Governor-elect. PDG, past District Governor. So there's this list of acronyms, and I hope someone in the room, Lion Lucy, will put together a list of those acronyms and post it on your Facebook page, because everyone needs to know those things.
Yes.
So on behalf of LCI, Lions Club International, MD2, Multiple District 2, Lions of District 2S2, and especially myself, I want to welcome all of you here today. Back in 1917, a man named Melvin Jones, that was a Chicago businessman, had a vision of organizations that would serve other people, because he believed we couldn't truly be successful unless we served someone else. It's amazing that that vision has turned into over 1.4 million members across 200 countries and geographic regions in the world that we live in today. 1,500 of those, that 1.4 million, 1,500 reside pretty close to where we're sitting today. And what makes a Lions Club? A Lions Club is a group of like-minded individuals who want to serve their community. It makes it a pretty simple thing, but it also makes it really complicated sometimes. Because we may all start out wanting to serve one thing, and then we may decide that's not the direction we want to continue to go in, and we find another passion. It's important for Lions to find their passion. You heard 2nd Vice District Governor and 1st Vice District Governor-elect, Neil, talking about passion. And when I was about 12 years old, I had my first trip to Texas Lions Camp. For those of you who aren't familiar, Texas Lions Camp is in Kerrville, Texas. It's a 515-acre ranch that's owned by the Lions of Texas, and you have one of our district-elected officers in your midst, Lion Kevin Smith from the Montgomery Lions Club, who is our district director this year along with my husband. He will tell you any and everything you want to know about Texas Lions Camp. But I'm going to give you the very short version. Texas Lions Camp is a place where children with physical disabilities, type 1 diabetes, Down syndrome, or cancer can go and be just like everyone else for 1 week out of the year, and their family doesn't pay for any of it. We as Lions of Texas support that cause. So it's not uncommon to go to the pool and see artificial limbs on the beach or on the entry to the pool. It's not unusual to see kids climbing a rock wall that only have one arm or don't have any legs. It's not unusual to see them going down zip lines and all of the things that we can do there, horseback riding. So I encourage you to learn about that, and it may be your passion. But what I see as the passion of this group is an organization of millions in our U.S. Armed Forces and the veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. As the mother of a Marine, I want to ask all of our veterans and active duty and inactive duty vets to stand, please, for just a moment. You all have my ultimate and undying respect. Thank you for your service. And now you're here to continue your service in a different way. I thought it was fitting that your charter celebration today at 11 o'clock precedes my next Lions event today, which is in Brookshire-Patterson, Texas, where they're celebrating their 75th anniversary of their charter. 75 years. Now, how did they do that? They did that because we have a purpose that ties everyone together, and we have a code of ethics. So that 75 years, they've served with the same purpose and the same code of ethics, but on many different passions for many different members. I think it's important enough that I wanted to read you our code of ethics. And forgive me, my phone, I don't care how big the phone is, the text is teeny tiny. To show my faith in the worthiness of my vocation by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation of quality of service. To seek success and demand all fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect lost because of unfair advantage taken or because of questionable acts on my part. To remember that in building up my business, it's not necessary to tear down another's, to be loyal to my clients and customers and true to myself. Whenever a doubt arises as to the right or ethics of my position or action towards others, to resolve such doubt against myself. to hold friendship as an end and not a means, to hold that true friendships exist not on account of the service performed by one to another, but that true friendships demands nothing but accepts service in the spirit in which it's given. Always to bear in mind my obligations as a citizen to my nation, my state, my community, and to give them my unswerving loyalty in word, act, and deed. To give them freely of my time, labor, and means. To aid others by giving my sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy. To be careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise. To build up and not destroy. That's a question that I'm going to be asking your charter members and your new members in just a few moments when we induct them. So I want you to think about that. Can you, as an individual and a Lion, abide by the Code of Ethics of Lions Clubs International? Lions. When back in the early 1900s, things were a lot different than they are today, right?
Yes.
Think about that. That's a big difference. So if you think about the letters LIONS, liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety. That's what Lions stand for. Liberty, intelligence, and our nation's safety. And if you look at our logo, I'm going to hold up this beautiful brand new gong. You're happy to know that past District Governor Carl has not yet stolen the gavel for your club.
Yeah.
He is infamous. He did try. He did try. But if you look at our logo, it's the top of this bell, you see two lions, one facing forward, one facing backwards. There's a reason for that. The reason is that it's really important for us to remember our history so we know where we came from. That's what the lion facing backwards is for. Because you can't get to the future without knowing the past. So the line facing forward is what's to come. The L in the middle, that's you, right now, today. Chartering a brand new organization to serve your communities and around the world. Because as a virtual organization, you'll have members in every state, I have no doubt. They'll all be abiding by the same code of ethics. They'll all be part of the same thing. And it brought me back to a vivid memory of when my son was at the Marine Corps recruitment office. Didn't need to be there to be recruited because he knew from the time he was 8 that he was going to be a Marine. No plan B. That's just who he was. That's just who he was. And he was my baby. He was my youngest child. When he turned 17, we asked him what he wanted for his birthday. He said the recruitment office.
Hoorah.
I want you to take me to the recruitment office, and I want you to give permission for me to join the DET program, Delayed Entry program in the Marine Corps. And we did. He graduated high school a year early so he could get in the Marines quicker. Turned 18 in boot camp. Got married very soon after. That was not part of the plan. But, as usual, he knows better what his life needed to be than I did, and they've been married for 8 years and are doing wonderful. But when I thought about walking into that recruitment office that day, the recruiter said, "Why do you want to be a Marine?" And my baby son's response, "I want to be part of something bigger than just me." All of you are part of something bigger than just you. Bigger than just your club, bigger than just your district, bigger than just your state. As big as the world is. I thank you for your commitment to that. I thank you for your service in our military. I thank you for your service and your future service to Lions Clubs and to your communities. One of our purposes in Lions Clubs is to empower volunteers. And as you begin to learn more through Lions Learning Center, through Lions University, all of the things that come along with being a Lion that are free to you, leadership training that it surpasses most corporate training that people pay thousands of dollars for, and it's available to you as a Lion. So you grow just not as a Lion, but as an individual, And as you start doing those kind of things, you'll notice that you'll hear things like specialty clubs, traditional clubs, club branches. There's a lot of different ways to serve. As a virtual club, Lions Clubs International, or LCI, deems that a specialty. Your focus is very specific. It's on serving veterans. That's a specialty. You are all masterpieces within that specialty. You've got some amazing leaders within this organization. You've got some individuals who are already Lions, and then you've got some of you that are brand new baby cubs. Go to those members who have been involved in the organization for a while to learn, to ask for advice. Anyone at this table, I guarantee you, if you picked up the phone and called them, will have no trouble sharing information about Lions with you. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that we live to do, because we want you to enjoy this. Happy Lions, valued Lions, recognized Lions, they don't leave the organization. They keep serving and they keep teaching other people to do the same thing that they're doing. So don't ever hesitate. Make sure you call Past District Governor Carl about 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the best time to reach him. PDG Tony down there, Past District Governor Tony, 6:30-ish. PDG Mark, 24/7. Anytime. He always answers the phone. Yeah, you can applaud that. And then Neil, he's going to be on double time, right? So feel free to call him anytime as well, 24/7. He and I exchange emails and texts around 3 o'clock in the morning, many times. So don't ever feel like you're asking a stupid question. Don't ever feel like that what you are questioning or concerned about is not important, because it is. We are so thrilled to have you join the fold of District 2S2. And with that, I'm going to ask that some of you come up to join us. We've got a group of charter members, and then we have a group of new members. First, I'm going to call up our charter members. Lion Dave, Lion Cheryl Fountain, Lion Marisol, Lion Sam Marie, Lion Rebecca Barber, Lion Chris Escobedo, and Lion Marty Reeder. I'm going to ask First Vice District Governor-elect Neil to come around the table, and he's going to present you with your pens in just a moment, along with some literature and information for you. But first, and I know I'm talking to your back, but I want you to face that crowd. You can hear me. Lionina was in May, I think. So she is a new Lion, but not the charter members, within 90 days of the charter. So we'll call that group up in just a moment. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And you don't have to face me, you face the crowd. The first question is, will you, to the best of your ability, abide by the Lions Code of Ethics in everything that you do? Will you join your club in their meetings and their projects as often as possible to assist in serving your communities? And will you pay your dues in a timely manner to help support the organization? So here's my 4th question. It's not on my list, but it's one I always ask. Will you share Lionism with your friends and your family and give them the opportunity to serve alongside you as Lions? It's the most important question that I had today. With that said, by the power vested in me by Lions Clubs International, I declare you charter members of the NAVR Lions Club. Now what Lion Neil is handing out is a lapel pen. It's our logo. And I'm going to give you a bit of advice that I learned a long time ago. When you put that pen on every morning, and please put it on every morning, no matter where you're going or what your plans are for the day, put it on upside down. I know that sounds odd, but put it on upside down. And then when you perform your first act of service of the day, turn it where it's right side up. That could be opening a door for someone. It could be just giving a smile to someone, letting someone in traffic ahead of you. Oh my goodness, Houston traffic, right? Buying someone a coffee. Whatever that first act of service is for the day, that's when you can turn that Lion's pen up and make it right side up for the rest of the day. You know Lion Lucy, you know there's pictures involved. Everything's got pictures involved. So the next thing I want to do is call up Lion Nikki, Lion Nina. I want you guys to stay up here. Lion Adriana, Lion Cynthia, Lion Olga, and Lion Myrna. I think that got everyone. So these are lions that joined the NAVR Lions Club prior to our celebration tonight, but after the charter was submitted to Lions Clubs International. Many of these lions have been lions in other clubs. They've served in other capacities. They have some experience under their belt. And I'm going to ask them the same 4 questions that I ask our charter members. So my first question is, will you abide by the code of ethics of Lions Clubs in everything that you do?
Yes.
And will you attend your meetings and projects regularly and participate?
Yes.
And will you pay your dues in a timely manner so that the club can financially prosper?
Yes.
And lastly, will you continue to share Lionism with your family and friends to give them the opportunity to have the same feeling that you're feeling right this very second?
Yes.
I declare you duly inducted new Lions of the NAVR Lions Club. Push in. There you go.
Okay, hold on, you're our youth ambassador. Come here, Evan. Come here, Karina. Come in the front. Come on, come on.
These youth ambassadors are the next generation of serving lions.
It's like I'm
Okay, we good? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Now, as with any other organization that you've ever been a part of, you have to have a leadership team in place to kind of guide and direct the activities and the functions of the club, right? Same thing with Lions Clubs. So I'm going to ask, some of you I may be asking to come back up, some of these are not here, I believe. So your president will be Lion Vicky Cruz. Your vice president, Lion Lucy Gonzalez. If you're here, you'll come up to the front, please. Lion Lucy, as vice president of your club, your job is to fill in when the president can't be here at events just like today, which you've done a fantastic job. You've done a great job getting everything together. The room looks phenomenal. I look around, I see smiles on faces, and that's because of you.
Oh, because my whole team right here.
But every team has to have someone to lead them, right? We talked about this before, Lion Lucy. So you've done a great job of serving your club in your district. Will you continue to serve in this capacity as the vice president for the next year, to take lead when President Vicky can't be there, and to help chair and direct projects that are coming down the pipe? I declare you duly installed as vice president. You'll get used to this, I promise you. Secretary is Lion Marty Reeder. Come on up, Lion Marty. Get right here. She didn't know I was going to make her run laps or anything. So as a club secretary, it's really one of the most important functions of the club. The secretary can either make or break the club. You're responsible for reporting new members, for dropping old members, because if you don't do either one, it could financially impact the club. You're responsible for submitting service activities in our platform called My Lion. Anybody heard of My Lion, My LCI? You'll be very familiar with those. There's a lot of training that's available for that, and I encourage you to utilize that training, because if you do, it will put you miles ahead as you move forward in your position. Will you, to the best of your ability, carry out those responsibilities for the NAVR Lions Club? Thank you. I declare you duly installed as well. Congratulations. Being a charter officer for a club is a very, very special situation because it's something no one, in 75 years, when we're celebrating the charter of this club, those officers' names will be remembered as the first leaders of that club. Lion Cheryl Fountain, come on up, girl. Lion Cheryl will be your treasurer for next year. Now, most people know what the treasurer's duties are, but we're going to, if you look at most club treasurers, you may see that they drive a new car, they might buy a new house, they rent a new big place. No, I'm just kidding. The treasurer is responsible for all the monies that come in and go out of the Lions Club. There's 2 different accounts that you have to manage. You manage an operating account and you manage an activity account. It's your responsibility to know which expenses and which revenue goes into each one of those accounts and to keep them transparent and provide summaries of those accounts to your members at each one of your club meetings or your cyber meetings. Will you agree to the best of your ability to carry out those responsibilities? I appreciate that. I declare you installed. Thank you, Cheryl. Oh, the next one's the fun one. Lion Chrissy. Come on up. So, a tail twister. It is Lions Club, right? So, a tail twister has a huge responsibility of making sure that you have a good time. She keeps the meetings light. She keeps them fun. She also has one ability that no one else in your club has, and it's to collect fines. And she doesn't have to have a reason. So if you don't wear your pin, or if your meeting instructions said to be online at 7 and you log in at 7:10, that could be $1, right? All of those fines go back into your activity account and you use them within the community, but it's a way to keep things fun and joking and just to take some of the stress away. Lion Chrissy, will you do that to the best of your ability? I declare you duly installed. Now there's one thing about the tail twister that's quite important, and that is that no one can find a tail twister unless it's a unanimous vote. So the only time you can find her is if you can get her out of the room long enough for everyone to take a vote, and then when she comes back in, you can find her. I think you'll find she doesn't step out of the door very often. Next we have directors, and I'm going to ask the directors to come up. Director Regional Commander Dave, Director of VA Outreach in San Antonio, Lion Sam, Director of International Outreach, Lion Claudia, Director of VA Outreach in Houston, Director, Lion Lucy, I don't see a name on that one. Outreach in Houston. And Director of Youth Activities, Lion Nikki. That's okay. Sorry, Lion Holden. So, as Director, Director of Youth Activities, Lion Nikki, yes. So, the job of a director, and I'm sorry I'm talking into the one here, but the job of a director is to help guide your club. Okay, your input, your knowledge, your fresh ideas, your ability to chair different projects that are going to be going on are all very important ways for you to serve as directors in your individual capacities. In most Lions clubs, you have 2-year directors and you have 1-year directors. And that ensures consistency as the years go by, that you don't have a year where all your directors are brand new. I'll leave that to you to decide and to your leadership team to decide how you want to manage that. But your job is exactly what it sounds like. You sit on the board of directors and you approve or decline votes that come in front of the board that will determine what direction your club goes in. Will you all take that position will you take it to heart and perform it on the very best of your ability?
Yes, ma'am.
I declare you duly installed. Thank you. Thank you for your willingness to serve. With a story about football. So I grew up in a small town in Texas where Sundays after church, the thing that you heard most if you weren't a football fan was, "Get out of my light, I can't see the TV. Get out of my light, I can't see the TV." That was my daddy. Donald Free is a member at Magnolia Lions Club. He's been in Lionism for 52 years this year, and he has perfect attendance for 52 years. So if you ever meet him, he will challenge you just like he was challenged. He was challenged with the number 40 when he joined Lions Club, and he thought, there's no way anybody can have 40 years of perfect attendance. But he challenged himself to do it, and he is still doing it today after 52 years. But I became very quickly, I was the only girl in my family, I have 3 brothers. I quickly became a fan of football because if you didn't, you really couldn't communicate with anybody because that's what they were talking about. I love it. I've always loved team sports, and you can compare just about anything to a sports analogy and find a solution. I'm also a reality TV nut. I like to watch reality shows, and there's a reality show on Netflix called Texas 6. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but it follows the life in Strawn, Texas, of a 6-man high school football team. Their town is so small they don't have enough players to play 11-man football, so they play 6-man football. And it follows their quest to state championship and then to repeat and then to three-peat. And they have a coach. And that coach is Mr. Lee, Coach Lee, and he's a typical Texas football coach. 2-a-days in August, mornings and afternoons, doesn't care if, by the end of training of summer, if you're not hurt or injured, you haven't worked hard enough, right? That's kind of Texas football. So he came in this particular episode, he came into the field house after the first workout of the day, and everyone there was just exhausted. I mean, this is up in West Texas, it's hot, well in triple digits. And everyone, all of the athletes were complaining, they're tired, they're hurt. And one of the players had the audacity to say, "Why do we have to do this anyway?" Okay, I expected a lot of expletives from the coach, throwing things at lockers. I had my expectation of what his response was going to be. It was nothing like my expectation. He looked around the room and he said, "We don't have to, we get to." That's what I want you to take away from this today, if you don't take away anything else that we've talked about. You don't have to be a lion. You get to. This organization, you have to be invited to join. You can't just call up and say, "Hey, I'm going to join the Lions Club." You get to. You get to serve your fellow veterans. You get to send disabled children to Texas Lions Camp. You get to show up for your meetings. You get to meet when you want to meet, how you want to meet. Your club, your way. You don't have to. You get to. And I'm so thankful that you do. Thank you so much. I have several items that I am honored enough to get to present to you today. The first of which, and I'm going to ask Lion Lucy to come up. The first of which is a check. This year, our Council of Governors, myself and 15 other leaders from across the state of Texas, decided that we wanted to incentivize growth of new clubs. And we all know that money is an incentive, right? Money works. And every club needs some money to get started. So we've decided to provide $1,000 to your club.
I'll see y'all later.
Lion Cheryl, catch her on the way out. I'll let her down.
I got my foot out.
Trip her as she comes.
Okay.
And the next thing that I want to present is a document that will live in infamy forever. This, my dear friends, is the original charter for your Lions Club. here. I would like for you to come up, either before you leave, or they'll have it at the back table, for you to sign as a charter member. And in 75 years, your names will be on this charter, living in history. I get to get home by this time. Now, when you have a new club, you need some guidance, right? Maybe someone who's been doing a little longer and a little more. So we call those a guiding lion. The guiding lion for your club is none other than our first Vice District Governor-elect, Neil Lander. We do a lot of this pen stuff. And then next, I have some banner patches. You will soon have a banner that will have a logo on your banner, and it will display all of the patches that your club works and achieves, or works for and achieves. This is a banner patch, and it is for your sponsor club, because a new club can't charter without a sponsor club. So, past District Governor Mark Roth from Houston Heights Lions Club, I'd like to present you with your sponsorship patches for your banner. Okay, am I done on here now? Okay, you're tired of hearing my voice, I'm sure, so I'm out. You guys have a great afternoon. Thank you for being here today.
Since our MC has walked away from the podium with her $1,000 check, please look at the parking lot, make sure that counts. I want to say thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here to address everyone. This is a really exciting time, and I want to say welcome and congratulations, and welcome to the family of Lions. It's a great big family, and we're growing. Each one of you have made a choice. You've made a decision to help us as a district to fill a void. If you look around our district, we're not heavily involved with veterans issues, and they're vast and significant, and there's lots and lots of opportunity. Where there's a need, there's a lion. Well, you guys have been addressing needs in your personal life for veterans for a long, long time, and we're grateful that you're now part of Lions formally and can help introduce the rest of the district to more opportunities for outreach and service to Lions. I would be remiss if I didn't do a quick, brief history of Lions to kind of give you an idea of where we've come from. Our international director, TJ Tiberina, reminded us this week in his newsletter of a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. The further backward you look, the further forward you can see. So it's always good to have a frame of reference of where we've come from, how we got to be where we are, so we can understand our foundation. And remember, history is just a foundation. It's just what got you where you are. It's neither a destiny or a destination. It's your past, it's your foundation. I don't want to talk a lot about specific events in Lions. We were founded, as our governor mentioned, in 1917 for the purposes of serving others. But I want to give you one date in particular that was very, very significant. 1925, we were 9 years old. If you can imagine what the world was like and what Lions clubs were like in 1925, we were scattered across the country, about 1,500 clubs, and we did our own thing. Some clubs supported the library, some clubs supported schools, some clubs supported orphanages. We were all sort of disconnected. We had a special guest speaker come to Cedar Point, Iowa, and spoke to the Lions and gave us a challenge. The challenge was to take up the cause of preventable blindness and for us to become champions for the blind. The Lions embraced that as an opportunity to unify all of our Lions across America and later across the world behind one singular purpose. So now, today, Lions in Houston, in Galveston, and Lions in Bangladesh or Hong Kong, we all have a same heritage, a same connection, and that's through supporting vision. Doesn't mean that's our only purpose or we have to serve in that particular area, but it's what binds us together. It's like our DNA. You know, we've mentioned our Lions Camp and our Lions Eye Bank, all wonderful opportunities to learn about and find ways that we can serve individually. I was compiling history of what we've done as a Lions organization, and I found one interesting tidbit fact. 1966, we Lions clubs collected over 1 million bars of soap to send to our soldiers in Vietnam. That's the only thing that I saw that was significant, that was something serving our armed services. So hopefully that we'll have some activities here that we can be able to report back to LCI that then become part of the greater LCI, Lions Clubs International history. Another little quick tidbit, women became members in Lions International in 1987, and we've never looked back. Our membership has continued to grow. In Texas, we're about 43% ladies in our association, so that's really, really good. So, or maybe it's backwards, 43% in our district and 35% across the state. So we've got a lot of opportunity bringing more women into our group. Enough about our history. I just want to recognize this club for some of the service activities that you've already been a part of. You've worked, individuals here have worked with other Lions in different clubs, and in the early stages of developing your club, in providing an opportunity for World War II veterans to go to New Orleans and outrun a hurricane coming home, to take them to the World War II Museum. And I understand that's a major project that this club may be participating in again this August. So very exciting. It's a wonderful service, and the reports we got back were outstanding. Your Lions have reported supporting the Wheelchairs for Warriors and Embrace funds to help assist and build wheelchair ramps. Wonderful, wonderful service project. Partnered with other organizations to help beautify Veterans Home. Celebrated and honored the Vietnam veterans both, and the Americans and the Vietnamese vets. So outstanding outreach already, and the sky's the limit on where we can go. Many of your Lions have participated in our district conventions, which shows an eagerness to participate in the greater family of Lions, as well as take information back from other clubs and bring it to your club. So where do we go from here? That was the topic that Lion Lucy asked me to talk about. Where do we go from here? Again, reflect on your foundation, but set your own course. Consider these steps as you move forward to build upon your foundation with strength. Be strategic when you're planning your activities. My club used to have whoever walks in the door and leaves with a $25 check or a $100 check or whatever they were asking for. We didn't have any strategy, and we never had money. So I challenge your club to be proactive and set specific targets. Not every need out there has to be met by your members. You know, develop your lists, create opportunities that you could serve, bring it back to the club, have discussion. Where do your members' passions lie? And then try to build those around that. When you're setting your goals, do it like you would in your personal life. Okay, I want to be a doctor. Okay, it's going to take education. There's a career path to get there. There's retirement and travel at the end. That's my career path for my life. It's the same thing with the Lions Club. Identify the needs that you want to serve. Build your projects to meet those needs and satisfy those people that need Lions in the community. Raise funds if necessary, and then do your project and meet your need. So be strategic, make your plans, follow your plans. Build upon your strength. Always look to push your members for just a little bit extra. Always challenge them to engage and brainstorm with new ideas and new opportunities for service. And always leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room for that story that comes to you that they need just a little bit to help them complete some project. Leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room so you don't have to say no to a project that comes along that's really valuable. The important thing is to look at building upon your strengths, but taking away and minimizing where your weaknesses are. And whatever our organization is, whether we've been here 100 years or we just started, we've got strengths, we've got weaknesses. Well, address your weaknesses and be proactive there. If you look around and you see that your membership is young and they don't have really strong leaders, but they've got eager folks, well then focus on leadership development. Involve your new members in service activities. Give them an opportunity to have a hand in the planning process. If you're struggling to find fresh ideas and new ways to serve, you tend to, year after year, month after month, kind of repeat the same activities. Ask the people that you're currently serving, do you have ideas on how we can serve? This is what we do. You've seen us perform this service for you. We're a big organization. We have other Lions outside of our club that want to embrace opportunities to serve. Where do you see opportunity for Lions to make a difference in the life of others? Those ideas are the great way to bring information back to your club so that you can set your plans. If your club has a lot of workers that don't feel appreciated, find opportunities to recognize Lions for their activities. You know, one of the things I share with other folks in other clubs is when you remember to recognize folks, recognition is the best motivation. Somebody who's worked really hard, a committee chair, put a project together. The project was outstanding. Don't just recognize the committee chair, recognize everybody that had a hand in that. On the other side, sometimes you have these big plans, these big expectations, you put on this big project and it kind of falls flat. The weather was bad, we didn't raise enough money, we didn't have participation because of other competing events, and it was kind of a dud. Don't try to close your eyes to it. Embrace it as an opportunity to recognize the efforts that people put in to make that project happen. Say, hey, we didn't get the result we wanted, but by golly, Hector worked his tail off, or you know, whatever. These are the things that we want to recognize, the effort that went into it. That type of recognition is just as motivating as a certificate, a pat on the back when you did something extremely well. So the advice I give clubs, and I hate giving advice. I've always said, don't give a Lion something they can't pin on their vest. So advice I'll give is just is simple. When you're setting goals for your club, go by what I say is the 70-20-10 rule. 70% of the service that you do it in the areas that you sort of historically, and I know your history is kind of short, but you still come from other areas where you've served in certain ways. But 70% of your service is in areas that's traditional to your organization, traditional to where you and your members have been serving. That way it promotes continuity and keeps people engaged in the things that are important and why they're sitting in the seat. 20% of your service, look for service in new areas. If you want to keep your club focused in a veteran service area, there are lots and lots of opportunities to serve veterans. Maybe you're only hitting this piece. There's this other piece over here. Look for opportunities to serve veterans' needs that may be vastly different from where you're already serving. And then build projects in that way. And then finally, the 10%. Look for service in innovative ways. Try partnering with a Rotary Club that can help build service. You know, we don't think about us as being partners, we think about us being competitors. We're not competitors. We're trying to serve the same communities. So find opportunities, be unique in that way. Not a lot of Lions clubs reach across the aisle and pull in other service organizations to do projects with them. Working with the community organization in a way that you've never thought about providing service in the past. Be innovative in that sense. So 70 traditional, 20 in new areas, and 10 completely innovative ways. Always remember that the great killer of any club is member dissatisfaction. I always say if you're satisfied, and as our governor mentioned, if you're a satisfied member, if you're satisfied with a purchase decision or an organization you belong to, you're not going to leave. Just like you look around the room, if the folks in the seats are getting what they want and need out of the experience as being a Lion, am I serving? Am I making a difference? Am I making people's lives better in the community that I have interest in? If the answer is yes, I'm not going to leave. But if my ideas are always ignored, if they don't want to listen to me when I have input, if I don't get to participate in the way I'd like to, not going to be too much time down the road where I'm going to walk away. So we want to make sure that we focus all of our activities on how do we enhance the satisfaction of our members. Always take time to plan, to evaluate your members' engagement. Are they satisfied? You know, periodically look back and see the role of members. How many times have they been participating? Do you see one Lion that you haven't seen in a while on your activities and events? Don't wait 6 months, 9 months down the road to reach out to them. Find out now. Maybe there's a health issue. Maybe there's some issue that's prevented them to participate. Maybe there's the seed of dissatisfaction. jump in at that time and reach out to them, try to get them re-engaged. Look for new members who step back, find ways to re-engage them. And if it's not an existing project or projects, then ask them to suggest something that may be new. So remember, in closing, we serve doesn't just mean the community. We serve also means each other, fellow Lions. We serve each other in different ways. Here we serve by supporting your club, the needs of your club through membership, leadership development, service needs that you may have, direction, support. We're here to serve each other as you serve each other, and you serve us as well. So again, welcome to our association, and I'm excited to see the great things that come out of this organization.
Cheap shot.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
I want to thank Neil and Lisa for stealing all my thunder and talking about the camp. Anyways, I'm going to talk on two different subjects, and I'm going to make it really brief. I think Lucy told me I had an hour and a half. I won't say long. I'm going to talk on the camp, and I'm going to talk on vision. And I'm going to tell you two stories. The camp, obviously, you heard what we do. It started in 1940. 8 members of Texas got together, 8 Lions got together and said, you know, we need to do something for the kids, the handicapped kids, those who, through no fault of their own, are handicapped. And they don't get to participate in some of the activities that most kids do. So they got together, decided they were going to do this camp, they chartered. After the war, the Corps of Engineers was offering land up for free, but you had to raise money to build facilities. So there was 505 acres available in Carville. And 6 months to raise $100,000. As they closed it on the end of that 6 months, they had $78,000. And they were in a pickle. They had to be able to close. So one DG stepped forward and wrote a check for $20,000 and said, here, this gets us across the finish line, or close enough to it that we'll have money by the end of the 6 months. Thank God they didn't cash it because it wasn't good, but they had received the money, they closed on the property, and today that check hangs in the office at the camp. It's a little funny fact. The first year they opened up in 1952, they served 236 kids. And now we serve about 1,500 kids per year. And we're expanding. So fast forward to around 2010. You're at the camp, I'm at the camp, and I see these 2 kids. One's in a wheelchair, and one's behind pushing it, and they're just running down the sidewalk, through the parking lot, and back up again. I'm like, yeah, what is going on? It's like, hey, can I talk to you? Hang on for just a second. What? What are y'all doing? We're running. What do you mean you're running? We're running. Why? Because we can. What do you mean you can? Details here. I don't get this. The girl in the wheelchair says, well, I'm crippled. I can't run. And Kim is blind. She can't run. So we schedule our weeks together, go to camp, and we get to run. The only time we get to do it. How does that happen? It happens because the Lions of Texas provide kids to go free of charge. It costs the Lions of Texas a little over $3 million a year to have this camp, to operate it, to maintain it. When we raise those funds, part of it through your dues that you pay faithfully, and part of it is done through fundraisers. We hope that you will participate in that, but that's not a requirement. Your dues are a requirement. So I want you to know that as Lions, you provide that. Just because you joined Lionism, you're part of that camp. And you've helped that child, or the child with no legs that climbs the rock wall and gets to ring that bell. The kids who get to take their prosthetic off and go into the pool. Or the fact that it's a beach pool and you can actually push the wheelchair all the way down into the water. Or they get to ride horses. You get to sleep out in the teepee tent. guys like this, you do that. And I'm really appreciative. The other side, vision, the mainstay of Lions, started back, let's say, 1925. Helen Keller made the speech, Unites the Blind. So locally here in this district, statewide actually, we have the Texas Recycling Center in Midland, and every district gathers glasses up. Now this district send them up to Conroe Noon, because Conroe Noon has its own facility there where we process and recycle glasses, which is really great. So I'm going to ask this club to put out boxes and gather glasses from the Walmarts or the Vision Centers or whatever, and bring them to the P&S meeting, and then we'll take them from there.
What is PNS?
P&S, that's one of those acronyms. And PDG, by the way, is not past district governor. It's pretty darn good. Or for those who get invited all the time, they're permanent dinner guests. P&S is the President and Secretary's Council. So I will expect the President and the Secretary to go first Wednesday of every month. China beer around 45 and bring what your club's activities, what you're doing. And then at the same time, you'll hear what other clubs are doing. You get ideas from that. Bring your glasses, because that's where we gather them up. That's our central point. I want to tell you this little quick story. In 2018, I was asked to go to Fiji. My wife and I like to go on mission trips. And it's just something we do. We usually do 3 a year. But we got asked to go to Fiji for the first time on a mission trip. We were gone about 10 days. 5 days was actually on the mission itself. During that time, did something like 70 surgeries, and we processed, I think it was 983 kids and adults through the vision program and got them glasses. Now, because the way God makes Fijians, 98% of them wear plus glasses. So we went down, and I was clueless as to what was being brought. I was going down there to volunteer my services. My wife was an RN, so she worked in the OR, and I worked in optical, handing out the glasses that the doctors prescribed. On day 3 of this 5-day thing, we've already gone through 600 people, and the doctor sticks his head in and says, I got a young girl here, she needs a pair of glasses. Well, doctor, that's what I do. He said, well, she's a negative 350 at one eye, and negative 4 at the other. And I'm like, we didn't bring negative glasses. We brought positives. No. Okay. We go over, it's like I find this pile of glasses that I left over from the year before. I'm looking through that, I can't find anything there. I said, I go back down the hallway and I start looking through boxes and I see this kid's glasses on that. How do I do it? Pull it down, go through it. Found a pair of negative 350 glasses from the Lions Club in Australia. And I'm like, how cool is this? This is neat. And we get these glasses on this young girl. I said, can you see with these? Can we look at the chart? She looks up. She looks around. She looks over to that pile of glasses that were there from the year before. And she starts smiling and pointing. What? I finally go over this pile of glasses and I pick up this pair of blue glasses. She wants blue glasses. I can't just give you blue glasses. The prescription's got to be right. So all glasses are bagged and tagged, and I looked inside to see what the prescription was, and there was no slip of paper in it. Okay, get the lensometer out, and I read the glasses, and it's negative 350, negative 4. Oh, God. Is this even possible? But for those of you, if you know glasses or if you know eyes, 3 things have to come together. You have your cylinder, your sphere, and your axis. Any one of those 3 is off, the glasses don't work. So we go do Acuity Check. We take the glasses, put them on the young lady. And by the way, she's 5. Put them on this young girl. Okay, let's get the chart. Can you read this line right here? What's this first number? And there's this long, awkward pause. I'm like, okay, something's not working. 3, what's wrong. Is it fuzzy? It's like, try the next line. What number is this? And again, the long, awkward pause. 7. That's correct. All right, what's the next line? About this time, my mind kicks in. I'm talking to a 5-year-old. English is her second language.
That's right.
And she's doing this with her hands. Who's 6. But we get through, she's reading 2020. So I'm thinking, I mean, it's like, how do I take this story? At that time, I was district governor. And so I was like, how do I take this back to this district and explain what we do? And I said, well, you know, the glasses from Australia is how she found this blue pair of glasses. And I'm cleaning up, and I pick up that bag, and I turn it over, and on the back of it, this little purple and gold slip, this is Conroe Noon Lions Club. That's my club. That's what we process the glasses that this district gathers. I mean, so not only, I know the people, lions like yourself, that picked up the glasses, mundane task, took them to P&S, and dropped them off. And they got transported up. Somebody sorted them through multiple mundane little tasks. But at that time in 2018, a 5-year-old girl could see because of those little mundane tasks that we all put together. So I know that you will have mundane tasks to achieve your goals. Understand, it's the combination of those that produces the end result is what we do. I ask for your support with the vision screening, the vision camp, and whatever else your club takes on. Just remember, we're Lions. We're in this together. Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm Tony. I'm one of those PGs. I'm going to talk about the family of Lionism because you're my family now that you've joined Lions, and I'm your family. I may be the uncle you don't invite to Thanksgiving, but I'm your family. So just get used to it. You are now part of an incredibly big organization. As you can tell, I'm not a natural-born Texan. I come from across the pond. I was born in London, left England when I was 7 and went to Africa and spent 45 years there, and then got across here about 24 years ago. What was interesting was I joined the Lions in South Africa in 1974. And the reason I joined it was that our community, which was a coastal community, was trying to raise funds for a lifeboat. And one of my drinking partners at the club said, hey, buy this raffle ticket, which I did. And so he said, come and join us. So I went and joined them and became a Lion then, working with them. And I've had the benefit, therefore, of working not only in different clubs, but in different communities and different continents, and seen the Lions organization. And I can tell you that if I was to take you into Johannesburg tonight to a Lions Club meeting, it would look exactly like yours, okay? They talk about the same stuff, we've got to get more members, we've got to get younger members, okay? They're talking about projects like yours, they talk about service. Because we are an international organization, I would urge you to step outside your club and go and visit another club near you. Now, I'm a Facebook stalker, okay, so I know a lot of the stuff you're doing already. I know you had a meeting last week about the next World War trip, and you did invite Lucy. Not happy. But I know that trip's coming up. Now, here's an idea for you to think about. When you're going down on that trip, I know you take a break on the way down with the bus. Contact the Lions Club where you're taking that break. I don't know where you do it, but there's a Lions Club close by. Contact that Lions Club, and contact the Lions Club in New Orleans and tell them, hey, we're coming down. We've got Lions with us and we're doing this trip. They would love to reach out and help you, okay? It would be an honor for them, as you would like if somebody did that to you. Somebody called you and said, look, we're doing this special project, our club is coming down, so think about that. When you go and travel anywhere, there's a Lions Club all over the place. If you travel around the States or internationally, Google the Lions Club of that town, okay? If they had to be meeting or have a project going while you're there, go and see them. Call their club president or secretary and say, hey, I'm here, I'm a Lion. They would welcome, believe me, I know they will welcome you, no matter where you are in the world. They would love to see a visiting Lion. So make sure you become a part of that international Lion. And I'll promise to try and behave at Thanksgiving. Thank you.
So before, let me see, I'm not sure. So what many of you don't know is we adopted, well, actually I started it, but now the whole club started it. We adopted a program called World Changers, where we recognize people in the community who are doing great things and partnering up with our organization and not seeing it as a competitiveness like PDG Mark had mentioned, but being true leaders, servant leaders, that we lead from the heart through God's system of things or whatever you want to call it for you. But we know in our hearts that we're there to make a difference in the lives of our veterans and our families. And so I was really blessed in meeting this couple, and then I introduced them to a few friends. And those few friends started partnering up with them, and it got big. So at this time, I'd like to ask Jeff and Marisol Gonzalez, and we're not related, but we may be, we're doing DNA tests. As our world changers for 2022 for the Lone Star Warriors Outpost. Sorry, I haven't been to sleep. But they celebrated their 1-year anniversary in their nonprofit. And their nonprofit serves our veterans, our heroes, their families, in keeping our veterans active, whether it's through cornhole tournaments or softball, or even he's done bowling, he's done shooting, clay shoots, and you name it, they've done it. Let's give it up to our world changers, Marisol and Jeff. I gave it to them at the Valley Point, and it was me and a couple other people that didn't know, so thank you guys. So now I have the honor of bringing up a very dear friend of mine. Not only is she a Lion, when I ask her to come up, she will not be serving as a Lion capacity. I want everybody to know that. As she wears her badge of honor of the CASA. CASA standing for Civilian Aid to the Secretary of the Army. Almost like a 3-star general. Myrna Trevino, please come up as we hear from her. And I want everyone to understand, she plays a big role in the community. She is the eyes and ears of the Army to the Secretary of the Army. And Ms. Myrna Trevino has decided to partner up with us in getting her word out and also helping us do what we want to do, and that's to serve veterans in their community and family.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. I really do appreciate those very kind words. She's right on target. This is exactly what we do, and partnering up with other organizations on a regular basis, because it is not about competition. It is about helping the community. As she mentioned, I am the liaison between the Army here in Houston and Texas East and the Secretary of the Army. In my job as a CASA, the CASA's role, get it? CASA role? Yeah, that is, it's a joke, it's an inside joke, and I have to always, it's really funny, I think. But my job is basically to help the Army recruit and to overcome the myths that are associated with the Army, because we had, some incidences that happened that our community has not been able to get over. And across the nation, all branches actually, recruiting is down. And our job is to share the information to our youth. We're all influencers here. Whether we're grandparents or parents or in our community, we all influence our youth. Why not give them an opportunity to make a change in their lives and make a generational change, right? Because if they step out, their brothers and sisters will see them, their family down the road will see them, and you can make a big change just by stepping out and being that one person to do that and lead. And the other part of my mission is also to help our service members with transition, help them transition well, because we want to cut down on the suicide rate. We want to make sure that every veteran, no one is left behind. Whether it's Army, whether it's Marines, whether it's Air Force, any of the branches, it doesn't matter to me. And I'm always getting requests constantly about how do we service that? How do we work with that? I just got a request yesterday from an Army veteran who needs, he just moved here to Houston, he needs furniture. He needs furniture. So I sent him over to another VSO to serve and have them to see if we can help them get some furniture. He has nothing, he has an apartment, that's it. And so those are the kinds of things that we do that we connect each other with. And then jobs, of course, is another big one. Because I really do believe that holistically, if you help the sponsor, which is a service member, you help the family. It's not just the sponsor, it's the entire family. It's the kids, it's the spouse, it's everybody. And so if we do that, then we kind of avoid, or try to avoid and get ahead of anybody going down, the wrong path through depression, PTSD, all those kinds of things. Because they need to know that we're here for them. So I really do appreciate you guys. We'll be doing more things. I've got a lot of stuff planned for the rest of the year, and we'll be pulling in the Lions to do that, as well as other organizations, the Rotary Club and other VSOs, and I'm really excited about all of that. Thank you so much.
So if I can have Lion Cheryl and Lion Chrissy, it feels pretty neat saying Lion Cheryl, Lion Chrissy now. Pretty good. So just so you guys know, we couldn't have done this program without some great people. Let's give it up for a round of applause for our cabinet, our leadership, our district governor, our first vice district governor Neil, our PDGs, and they are PDGs, not only past district governors, that they've served and they served well, and we're still learning from them. Even though sometimes I'm hard-headed and want to do it my way, I end up doing it their way. So that's district governor Tony and Carl and Mark somewhere out. He goes back in the audience. So PDG Tony, this one is for you. PDG Nick, this is first. This is district governor. Thank you for coming. And then this is Carl's and then Mark over there. Oh, we don't Mark. Okay, I gotta do one thing. We love our pins and the Lions serve and we do all this hoopla. Well, we really do. And this time I wanted to do a pin for our NAVR Lions and I couldn't get one done in time. So I asked the Lion if she could help me, what her ideas were. And Lion Chrissy just joined in, didn't hesitate to jump in. She created a beautiful pin for all of us. But before y'all see the creation, I'd like Lion Chrissy to come up so I can show her my appreciation. Lion Chrissy. Lion Chrissy, I got you a Lions compliment to say thank you for the imprint, the encouragement, whatever has been helping us with the last one. Give it up for Chrissy, everybody. Okay, so everybody that helped put this day together that we couldn't have done without you. Lion Marty, Lion Cheryl, Lion Chrissy, Lion Nina. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll be going crazy if I don't acknowledge our regional commander, Lion Dave. Dave Stamp. He found the place, everybody. And just so everybody knows, not only did he do that, he let me go pick him up at 5 in the morning the last 2 days for us to go rolling together and trying to get here and get this door open and all of this together. But I want to tell you about this beautiful place he found. We put $100 down. That's it. If we return it back to the original place, we get our $100 back. And the people that formed this building, it was actually money raised by the citizens in the area because they wanted to honor veterans and they wanted to do something good for the community. So if you guys ever need a place, think of them. Just make sure you tell them thank you on behalf of the Lions District 2S2 that we're very thankful and grateful they opened this door for us. Okay? So thank y'all for that. So now, I got 2 things to do and then we're going to have Governor Lisa allowed me the opportunity to be the District 2S2 Veterans Chair for our Veterans Outreach activity. But when we were all talking with all of the leaders, I just wanted to challenge Coin from the Lions It's something we hadn't done before. And I just felt like every organization was recognizing their veterans, and I wanted someone to recognize our veterans. Governor Lisa and the cabinet said, let's do it. And that said, a beautiful coin was put together, approved, and now I'm gonna ask District Governor Lisa to please stand and hand these to our veterans. So our veterans that are here today, Veteran Steve, Veteran Nikki, Veteran Jeff, Veteran Marisol, who am I missing? Kevin, please, if you're a veteran, Hector, please come forward and receive your challenge coin from Lions Club District 2S2, thanking you for your service and everything that you've done. Ross, are you capturing moments? Are you capturing moments?
He's off the clock. He's off the clock.
Don't leave, we're taking a portrait. Steve, did you tell me? I'm Paul. Go in the picture of that. You want to go in here? Yeah, why don't we turn around this way so all the flags can be in the background? Oh, PDG.
Okay, can we squeeze a little bit?
Thank you. Thank you.
One more block.
And can I say something? So when everybody asks, where do you get your energy? Why do you do what you do? Just look at all the people who served us, and that's the least that we can do. Just do it. Yeah, he's not. Okay. So now I said that Lion Chrissy didn't sleep when I asked her for a special project. So let's just start by showing everybody the pin that she created for the NAVR Lions. I know you can't see it, but will all of the NAVR Lions, all of the officers, the charter members, and the members, please come forward as we give our governor and our first vice district GE to hand them out to you. Thank you, Lion Chrissy. It's beautiful. Oh, my glass broke. What the heck? Okay, you ready? Cheryl, Chrissy, you want to come? Come on, Bella. You can help me. Come on, please. Where's Governor Lisa? She left? Okay. Okay, all right, ready? Andy's getting this in. Everybody? Okay, here's to NAVR. Whoa, okay. What did you say? Oh, here's Dana. Hold on. Save the best for last. Okay, ready? Everybody raise your glass. Let's go to NAVR. Whoa, Sam, that's what you get freaking out my sorry. Ready? All right. A toast to NAVR Lions. Our journey has just begun. Yahoo! Cheers! Cheers, cheers.
That's it, he's gone.